Welcome to SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. Ousted Sheikh Hasina sentenced to 5-year imprisonment. Rehana gets 7 and Tulip 2 for Purvachal plot scam. National economy will strengthen if BNP form government, said Mr. Fakhrul. Khaleda Zia under combined care of local foreign doctors. Families of officers killed during the BTR massacre demand immediate prosecution. Release a full report. Now in details. Court today sentenced ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to 5-year imprisonment in a land scheme case. Judge Muhammad Rabiul Alam of the Special Judge Court for Dhaka also handed over and down to 7-year jail term to Sheikh Hasina, Sheikh Rehana, and the sister 2-year term to her niece, British parliamentarian Tulip Siddiq, in the same case. This is the fourth verdict involving Hasina in graft case filed by Anti-Corruption Commission ACC, filed the 6 separate cases between January 12 and 14 with its Dhaka Integrated District Office 1 over the alleged irregularities in the allocation of plots under the Purvachal New Town project. According to the anti-graft case body, Hasina, in collusion with senior Rajuk officials, unlawfully secured 6 plots, each measuring 10 katas, in the diplomatic zone of Sector 27 of the Purvachal New Town project for herself and her relative, including her son Shojib Wajid Joy and daughter Saima Wajid Putul, despite their eligibility under existing regulations. Due to the changed political circumstances in the country, there is a new trend of joining the BNP, said Secretary General Mr. Fakhrul Islam Alamgir. He made the comment to reporter at the joining ceremony of economist Reza Kibriya, the son of former Finance Minister Shah M.S. Kibriya, at the BNP chairperson's office in Gulshan today. He also said the people think that BNP is the only party that can create a real democratic environment and strengthen the national economy when it forms the government. Meanwhile, Mr. Fakhrul said that both local and foreign doctors are involved in providing medical care to party chairperson Khaleda Zia. Doctors are working and trying their utmost, he also added. Khaleda Zia has been undergoing treatment at Evercare Hospital since November 23. Following the medical examination, doctor detected a lung infection and BNP later reported her condition had become critical. Since Thursday, she has been receiving intensive care in the hospital critical care unit. Families of officers killed during her 2009 BTR carnage have demanded that those named a BTR investigation commission's report be prosecuted immediately. They also asked the authorities to make the full report public without delay. The demand came at the press conference today, titled The View of Families and the Matter on the publication of the BTR Investigation Commission report, held in Arakwala in Dhaka today. The National Independent Investigation Commission formed to probe 2009 Bangladesh Rifles mutiny submitted its final report to Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus yesterday. After 11 months of investigation, the commission accused former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and several senior Army League leaders of orchestrating 2009 Bilkhana massacre. It also named then lawmaker Sheikh Fazle Nur Taposh as the key coordinator to the mutiny. Others held responsible include Hasina, Taposh, former lawmaker Mr. Azam, Jahangir Kabir Nanok and Sheikh Selim, former Home Minister Shahara Khatun, former Defense and Security Advisor Tariq Ahmed Siddiq, former DGFI Director General Lieutenant General Mullah Fazli Akbar, and former Army Chief General Muin U. Ahmed. BNP Acting Chairman Tariq Rahman is not currently registered as a voter, but he may still be able to contest in the upcoming national election if the Election Commission chooses to allow it, said Election Commission Secretary Akhtar Ahmed today. Speaking to reporter at the EC headquarters in Agargaon, the Secretary confirmed that Tariq Rahman has not yet been included in the voter list. Akhtar Ahmed explained that under the Voter List Act, EC can include any individual in the voter roll at any time based on its decision. Those registered up to 31st October and will be eligible to the vote in the upcoming parliamentary election. He also further noted before the poll 7 types of voter information which include name, parents, name is under the photograph cannot be changed. However, non-essential information such as mobile phone number may still be corrected. The secretary also announced that the deadline for expatriate to register for voting is extended by 1 week until 25 December. The tourist season of St. Martin Island formally began today as 3 passenger vessels carrying 1,174 holidaymakers left Cox's Bazar to the country only the Coral Island. Officials said the vessel left the Nainchara BIWT jetty in the phases at 7:10 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. and also 8 a.m. Authorities confirmed that from today tourists will be allowed to overnight on the island till January 31st through the daily cap of 2,000 visitors will remain in force. Representative from the District Administration Department of the Environment Tourist Police BIWTA and concerned government offices were present at the jetty to ensure full compliance with the government 12-point directive for operating tourism to the island. And 3 vessels MV Par Aulia, MV Carnifoli and Carry Sinbad transported around 1,100 tourists on the first day. A total number of 50 tin-shed dwelling houses were gutted in a fire that broke out at the slum in Oxygen intersection area under the Baizid Bostami Thana here this morning. The fire broke out around 10 a.m. on Monday near the railway line behind a factory. The area is home to most, however, there is no report of injury in the fire incident, while 6 units of fire service and civil defense from different stations douses the blaze within the 1.5 hours. Frantic effort 11:30 a.m. Extent of damage and causes fire are indeed under investigation. Power, Energy and Mineral Resource Advisor the Fazil Kabir Khan had said that ensuring strong cash flow for the top priority for attracting investment in Bangladesh renewable energy sector. Speaking at an online dialogue titled The Recent Procurement Initiative of the Renewable Energy in the Power Sector CPT study finding organized by the Center for the Policy Dialogue, the BRAC INN today, he also defended the government's recent decision to scrap implementation for agreement for the 34 solar power plant. The Fazil Kabir argued that IAS had become the outdated and ineffective, stating the implementation agreement is cheaper than paper on is written. Nobody even demanded to invoke. We invoked that IA code consents the added for PPA and IA framework back 1990 and no longer suitable time for the present day renewable energy landscape. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। এসএ পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 রবার্টস লেন, সিঙ্গাপুর 218302। ফোন 0065 629 24900। বাংলাদেশ থেকে সিঙ্গাপুরে পণ্য বুকিংয়ের জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন ঢাকা সহ দেশের যে কোনো ৮০টি শাখা কেন্দ্রে। SA পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, আপনার সেবা সব সময়।
Welcome, Grand Palace Hotel, Dhaka. A majestic lobby blending timeless elegance with modern design. Experience 5-star comfort in suites and rooms. Sophisticated fine dining restaurant. Crystal clear swimming pool for ultimate relaxation. Modern gym and serene spa for well-being. Perfect venue for corporate events, weddings and parties. Seamless and secured. Elegant and eye-catching design. Indulge, relax, discover the first 5-star chain hotels in Bangladesh. Grand Palace Hotel Dhaka, 22 Kakrail, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Welcome back, and you are watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu submitted a request to the country's president on Sunday for a pardon in the years-long corruption for the trial, arguing that criminal proceedings were hindering the ability to govern, and a pardon would serve the interest for the society. Netanyahu, the country's longest-serving prime minister, has long denied the bribery, fraud, and breach for the trust charges. His lawyer said in a letter for the president officer, Prime Minister still believed the legal proceeding would result in a complete acquittal. But lawyers sent a request for pardon to the president of the country today. I expect that anyone who wishes to go for the country support this step. He also said in a brief video statement released by the political party Likud. Meanwhile, protesters rallied the President Isaac Herzog private residence, demonstrating against Netanyahu's request for the pardon. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said on Sunday, Israel poses the prime security threat to the Middle East, accusing it seeking for the destabilize the region through the expenditure for the policies. Speaking to the during at a joint press conference in the Tehran, with Iranian counterpart Abbas Aghargachi, Fidan said the main goal was sustaining the ceasefire in Gaza move on the next stage. His bombardment of Gaza, triggered by the deadly October 7, 2023, Hamas attack on Israel, has left much of the strip in the ruins and killed more than 70,000 people. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun said on Sunday that Lebanon will neither die nor surrender, speaking next to Pope Leo during his visit to the presidential palace. Leo, the first U.S. Pope, arrived in Beirut from the 4-day visit Turkey, where he warned about the humanity future was at risk because of the world's unusual number of bloody conflict and condemned violence in the name of reason. Leader in Lebanon, which hosts 1 million Syrian and Palestinian refugees and is also struggling to recover from years of economic crisis, are worried Israel will dramatically escalating its strike the coming month. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met the French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris on Monday, as the Ukrainian leader finds himself as the most difficult political and the military situation for the Russia invasion 2022. The two leaders will discuss the condition of a just and durable peace, the following talks in Geneva, an American peace plan, the Macron office said in the statement on Saturday. US and Ukrainian officials held with both sides called productive talk in a Sunday about Russia, peace deal, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio expressing optimism about progress despite challenges to the ending more than 3-year-long war. Meanwhile, the Kremlin said on Monday that a Ukrainian weekend attack on Capsium pipeline, the consortium infrastructure, was outrageous given the international significance and international participation as well. The CPC project, which include Russian, Caucasus and US shareholders, said on Saturday the US wanted this morning the point of its Novozhyn terminal in Russia and had been damaged by the Ukrainian drone attack, and its operation had been halted. In a call with a journalist, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov called the Ukrainian attack. The outages also criticized Ukrainian sea drone attack in oil tanker in the Black Sea, something he said was the assault of the terrorists in Turkey. Kremlin further confirmed that Vladimir Putin will meet US envoy Wikop on Tuesday in Moscow. Sri Lanka's death toll from the cyclone Ditra climbed to 300, more than 55 with more than 350 still missing, confirmed officials on Monday as rescue operations continue. Nearly 1 million people are impacted by heavy rains and flood that swept through the large part of South Asian island nation, forcing nearly by 2 lakh people into 1,275 shelter. The Disaster Management Center said the statement record rains lashed the country from last Thursday, causing multiple landslides in the hilly center region while overflowing river submerged entire town nationwide. Over 24,000 police, army and air force personnel are still trying to reach families stranded by flood. Authorities and dozens of families trapped in their homes and flood water in commercial capital in Colombo, which is one of the worst affected places. Meanwhile, Hong Kong authorities on Monday detailed the probe into the city death list fire indicate, pointing to substandard renovation, the minerals for the fueling in a blaze that claimed at least 151 lives. Police continue to strip the 7th tower engulfed on Wednesday disaster at a Wing Fang Court Estate, finding bodies in the residence in the stairwell and the troops trapped as they try to flee flame, and more than 40 people are still missing. Some of the bodies have turned into ash, therefore we might not be able to relocate all missing individuals, according to police. Tests on several samples on a green mat wrapped around bamboo spouting. US President Donald Trump on Sunday said the US will continue to tighten the immigration law, for there could be no asylum for some nations for a long time. No time limit, but it could be a long time, Trump told while speaking to the journalist on Air Force on US authority believe the Afghan immigrant accused of ambushing the National Guard member on Washington, D.C. was not radicalized until after they came to the United States Homeland Security and Secretary Christian Noem said on Sunday. Authorities identified the local and the suspect in Wednesday shooting that took place just a block away from the White House, which killed the National Guard member and critically wounded one another.
I think a long time.
Can you give any
We don't want this.
Venezuela accused the United States of seeking to seize the country's oil reserve through the military force, according to the letter sent by President Nicolas Maduro, the Secretary General of OPEC, the member nation of OPEC and OPEC Plus as well. The letter, which was made public by Venezuelan official Delcy Rodriguez during the OPEC virtual meeting, stated that such an act would have significant repercussions on the global emergency market. The United States island the seas for the vast oil reserve out of the country, the largest in the world, through the use of military force, which would seriously affect by the balance of the global energy market. Rodriguez read the letter emphasized Venezuela's commitment to defending its natural resources and maintaining sovereignty. Conservative National Party candidate the Nasri of Gora leads the Honduran presidential election with 34% of vote, counted according to country's electoral authority on Sunday. Nasri Afusra, a former mayor of the Tegucigalpa and the candidate backed by US President Donald Trump, his party last president, the Juan Orlando Hernandez, is serving a sentence for the US on drug trafficking charges, which over the candidate wins a simple majority will govern the country between 2026 and 2030. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Sunday dismissed US President Donald Trump's threat to exclude the Pretoria from next year's G20 summit, calling the remark the baseless and reaffirming South Africa's status as a founding member for the group. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Sunday dismissed US President Donald Trump's threat to exclude the Petrosia from next year's G20 summit, calling the record baseless, reaffirming South Africa's status as a founding member of the group. South Africa will remain full, active, constructive member, G20 Ramaphosa on the broadcast.
A few days ago, President Donald Trump made a statement to the effect.
Before ending, we go through the SATV News headlines again. Ousted Sheikh Hasina sentenced to 5-year imprisonment. Rihanna gets 7 and Tulip 2 for pre-burial protest scam. National economy will strengthen if BNP forms government, said Mr. Fakhrul. Khaleda Zia under combined care of local foreign doctors. You are up to date with the top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.